Sup everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today we gotta fix up the bumpers, the ghetto, and we gotta make it look fresh because spring is right around the corner. So I looked online for some videos to take off these bumpers just to get me a head start. And I saw a ton of ghetto videos with some dudes talking a bunch of crap in the background, making fun of the guy fixing the bumper. So I'm gonna make a good video to enlighten everyone on how to take bumpers off. And it's gonna be fun, so stick around. I mentioned this before, my front bumper has never been perfectly on, and we have a front lip which we need to add, so we're gonna take the bumper off, figure out why it doesn't install right. I think it's 2 bolts, so it should be easy. But we'll go over the process to take off the front bumper. And additionally, the back bumper, I'm gonna start to get ready to fix the rust in the back before spring. So I'm gonna take that off to assess the damage and see how bad the rust is. First things first, we gotta pop the hood. So, oh, look at that, the key fob works. Love Dirty Fresh. Booyah. Oh, damn it. Alright, so what I'm seeing down here, there's some like Phillips head screws. Looks like some of them are missing, that's great. So we're gonna take those out. Once again, we're using one of these magnetic pans to hold everything. Hashtag Harbor Freight. Holla back. Damn. Ugh. Shit. Alright, with all of those screws removed, this plastic trim piece just comes out, and like I expected, it's completely filled with gunk. That's good. Clean it up. So now the front's loose, now we're gonna get some bolts that are on the fender, I believe. I removed the fender liner plastic clip, which snapped because it's old, so that's great. And then there's supposed to be a bolt that holds this onto a piece under here, that was gone. So literally, it's just pressed in, so I pulled it out. That side came out, but take a look. You may need to buy some extra clips depending on how old and junky your car is. Same deal for this side. There's supposed to be a bolt that holds this in place here. It was not existent. I pulled it out, and the whole bumper came off. And then on a regular S2000, there's bolts underneath that attach to the mud tray thing underneath here. Mine are just held in by 2 zip ties, so that's cool. There's nothing holding this bumper on except for gravity and some zip ties. So pull this down, cut the 2 zip ties or 3 zip ties holding it to the mud plate. Boom, boom, boom. Shit. All right, boom. That's done. Let's take this bumper away. There's the bumper. Here's the car looking mean. You can tell this is definitely been an accident. I knew that beforehand because of the Carfax, but whichever side is incorrect or correct, I'm not sure. That's the passenger side. Underneath the headlights, the white mounting bracket for the bumper. On the driver's side, it is black. I would assume this is where the accident happened. They didn't paint it. There's not too much rust here. It looks pretty straight, so that's good. That's what I was talking about by the mud piece here. There's supposed to be screws that go on the bottom of the bumper into this, but it was just zip ties. So we'll address that. But for right now, it's looking mean. Race car status, brother. Put the back bumper back on just to see what the deal is for why this does not sit flush ever. It slits into a pin on this side, but to me, you can barely see there's a hole here in the fender. I think there's supposed to be something on this bumper that clips onto that. So I'm pretty sure this is an aftermarket bumper, and the reason I know why is because there's no VIN tag there. There should be a VIN right there above all the gunk. Same thing for this side too. There's nothing there that really presses in. There's the bolt hole on the fender, but on here there's just a little, zoom in here. The only thing that's really holding this on is that little clip right there onto that metal tab in there. Nothing's really bolting it in place, so I might have to figure out a way to do that or try and find another bumper and see how to mock it up so I don't have to replace this whole bumper. So for the rear, pop the trunk obviously, and then these plastic tabs here, I use a small screwdriver to get them to start to pop up, and then you can pull them out with your hands or with a pair of pliers. Good news, looks like my back bumper hasn't been messed with. There is a screw up in here, and it is a, let's see if it'll focus. Man, it won't focus, that's great. There you go, can't see it. It is a Phillips head. I've got a ratchet with a 1/4 inch socket bit on it. What I do is I get one of these little screwdriver bits, and that fits in the 1/4 inch bit, so you can get to the screw easy. I gotta remove the screw on this side as well. I noticed that if you're having a hard time with the Phillips head, you can also use an 8mm socket because it is the same size as well. It's probably easy to do this so you don't strip anything. Once you get that bolt out, it's just a matter of pulling it out. Besides, you gotta take one pin out down here, get that loose, and then you just pull out. My issue is that every single one of these damn tabs broke just then, so that is not good. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to reinforce that and put it back in place so that it'll sit proper again. But in theory, you're supposed to pull this out and it comes right out. Not in my case. On the bottom of the diffuser, there's some more push pins. There's one right there. And on my one, there's another one on the other side as well. So it's just a matter of getting a screwdriver in here and plopping that out. It was at this moment that I realized that the settings on the camera were way too bright, so it looked like I was on the sun, but I wasn't. This bumper has a little bit of a slit underneath the taillights, and that's what was getting it stuck right here. Once you get it past the headlight insert piece, it all pops out. And then finally there's one cord that keeps the license plate bulb on. Just clip that out and then the whole bumper will come separated. So we got the bumper off. The foam piece came off, it goes back on, but look how much gravel this thing trapped in the back. Kind of gross. I'm going to clean this up before I look more. The thing that I was the most interested in by taking the back off was the rust up in here. It's hard to see, but it doesn't look that bad. Definitely there's this rubber thing, which I think you could get to it without the bumper off, but makes it a lot easier. This rubber piece slips under the fender, so we're going to pull all that off and inspect how bad the rust is. But right now this thing is looking mad race car with no back bumper. Here we are. We got the front bumpers off. I've done some research to get the front bumper fixed so that that lip doesn't sit there, but that's gonna be another episode. Sorry about the cliffhangers. My bad. But the next episode, we're gonna get to that rust that's on the other side. I'm pretty nervous because we're gonna actually be sanding into the body. This side here, you won't be able to see it, but on the passenger side, it will creep up. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hey, it's everyone. I just got done editing, but wanted to let everyone know that I actually have a dedicated Garage Topics Instagram channel. And the beauty of that is I can actually post more car stuff without pissing everyone off. So, actually, if you want to look there now, there's some updates about the rust being fixed, which is kind of cool. And I get to post all of my dog pictures on my regular Instagram. So, whoever's a fan of me there gets to see this big man doing big things. That's all I got. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like it, and let me know if you got any questions or concerns about anything. Peace out. Oh, what's up? What's up, kids? Welcome to another episode of Garage Stop. God. Alright.